Hey guys, what's going on? I'm going to go over three of my favorite options swing trading services today. These are currently my favorite swing trading services and all have full track records. They're all profitable as far as I can tell, and as far as my experience has gone. I'm a member of all of them, and stay tuned to learn more about each one. So the first one I'm going to start with today is one that I really haven't talked about that much. It's one that I joined fairly recently compared to the other two, and that's Stealth Surge Alerts by Roger Scott. You can see him up the top left there. I was very skeptical of this guy when I first came across him, and that was partly because he changed his name a few years ago, and I was like, why would he change his name? It doesn't make any sense. But I did a full interview with him, and you guys can find that on my channel. I'll leave a link in the description below, both to the Stealth Surge Alerts program, but also to his interview as well, so you guys can see exactly what his explanation was for that, because that's always a huge red flag if somebody changes their name. But he had a really very reasonable explanation for that, and I have no reason to doubt that this guy is the real deal, especially after taking every trade since I joined. I'm doing really well, haven't had any losing trades with Stealth Surge Alerts. Check the description below, you'll find a link to learn more from Roger Scott, and that's including emails from him and also a free webinar as well, so definitely check that out. What I did here is I put a screenshot of his option statistics. So he does stocks. You can trade the underlying stocks in this, or you can trade the options. And so most people want to trade options, so I put that statistic here. I'm going to do a different video completely separate from this, basically going through his stocks and options and all the details involved with that. But I wanted to mention him first here because this is one of the best services I've ever been part of in terms of directional options alerts. And so you can see here for the option statistics, he's kept a really good track record. I'll show you some of that in a minute. But his average gain per option is 38%. His average loss is minus 66%, but he wins 85% of the time. So this is pretty small, a small loss compared to the number of wins that he has. And that's reflected in his average options return of 12.9%. That's including the losses. So I think that's something worth talking about, because the next one I'm going to talk about also takes this into consideration. When you're talking about average return, they take the losses and the wins and they average them. So that 12.9% includes the losing trades. So even though you're likely to hit 38% on an average day for the options profits, you have to take into account the fact that some of the losses are quite large, like minus 66%. But overall, it comes out profitable with a profit factor of 1.81. Remember, a profit factor of 1 means that you're break even. So anything above 1 means that you're making profit. Getting towards 2 is a fantastic profit factor. And I've been so impressed with this. Like I said, I've not taken any losses with these trades so far. These are really interesting. So people always ask me, how often does he trade? How much does he make, and also how long are the trades? So the trades are typically 3 to 10 days. That's the longest one I've seen is 10 days. Usually they're 3 to 5 days. You can see that he has made a gain of 131,000 trading this and a loss of minus 72,000, which makes an overall profit of 58,000. This is one of the most transparent track records I've ever seen, apart from the last one, which I'm going to talk about, which is Theta traderz. But this one is fantastic for directional call options. So let's look at a little bit of what you can expect. So here are the days held on the left here. Like I said, the longest one was 10 days, which is the one we just did. I've been a member for a while now. I've taken several of these trades, all of them winners. You can see he's had winners all the way down to here. So that's like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Almost 20 trades in a row have been winners. And there was a large loser. Remember, the losses are kind of large here. But they don't cancel out many of the winners. Maybe 3 or 4 of the winners, and the rest are all profit for you. So you can see the percentage returns here, 18%, 26%, 31%, 32%, 20%, 32%, 30%, 37%, 33%, 46%. Now sure, this was a complete loser on the option, but the stock actually did pretty well. So overall, this is a really profitable system, and I'll leave a link in the description below. Just sign up for the email information. You'll get access to his free webinar where he talks about the strategy, what it is. It's actually an algorithm that he developed in conjunction with like 20 other people. So this is really like a significant investment on his behalf. And he actually did this, and you can basically profit from these alerts. So one thing I want to say about Roger Scott is I believe he's a legitimate, profitable trader from everything I can see and all my experience with him. But you will not learn that much because you don't get access to the actual algorithm that he's using to make these calls. So there's some education in the platform, you'll definitely get that. But really you are reliant on him. So this is not a service for you if you want to learn how to fish by yourself. This is something that you really are going to rely on him for. But you can see that the results speak for themselves. They're really fantastic. I mean, you can't get better than this. I've never seen an options trading service that gives this transparent results and also actually wins. So it's really cool. So the options portfolio return since 12/16 has been 3,192%. That's amazing. So definitely check this out. I think it's something that you guys will really benefit from. Like I said, the link will be in the description below. You can sign up and it'll give you a series of emails telling you more about the service, but also the webinar, which is kind of long. Like it's a little bit long in my opinion, but it's worth listening to just because he goes into all the details about how he finds these trades, these stealth surge alert trades. So definitely check this out. It's one of my favorite services. It's relatively new. Like I've been doing this for a decade or so now. And this is one that I just came across over the last 6 months. But this is amazing. This is a really good service, especially considering that I'd written Roger off as a scam because of his name change and just a few other things that kind of got like red flags. But this is probably the biggest turnaround story that I've ever had, where I actually interviewed Roger and he really obviously knows his stuff. He runs free sessions on YouTube and on Zoom twice a day, I think, at least once a day. I think the second session at lunchtime is free as well. But you can check that out as well because this guy knows his stuff. He's clearly like checking the markets. He works harder than most people that I know doing this stuff. So definitely check out Stealth Surge Alerts by Roger Scott. This is something that I've been really impressed by. So I wanted to make that like my #1 pick for this particular video. I'm going to go through 3. So this is my first one. My next one is going to be Profit Surge Trader by Nate Bear. So Nate Bear turned $27,000 into $2.7 million trading, swing trading options basically. So he also calls Profit Surge Trader one ticker weekly payouts. So every week he alerts 2 to 3 really high probability options trades. And so this one also has a verifiable track record. I asked the company, so Monument Traders Alliance is the people behind this. And this is the response in the marketing, like from the marketing. So he says, Profit Surge Trader isn't some flash in the pan idea. Check out these stats since the Profit Surge Trader service launched a year ago. So I've been showing videos on this. If you follow the channel, you'll see videos on this every few weeks. I try and update what's going on. Look at this. Average return per trade is 7.4%. That's including the losing trades. So again, like I talked about with Roger Scott, these are trades that include the losses. So you can expect on average 7.4% return, including the losses. The average trade length is less than 5 days, so kind of similar to Roger Scott. These are short-term swing trades. Winning trades are 111 out of 138 trades, so an 80% win rate. That's comparable to Roger Scott's, which is about 85%. So 80% versus 85%. Now the difference with one ticker payouts or Profit Surge Trader is that Nate Bear holds a webinar every Monday at 12 Eastern time where he talks about all the things that you would want to know about these picks. So he's much more transparent than Roger Scott in terms of like what he's actually doing. So I'm going to include in the description below, I'm going to include these articles which I've done. So Roger Scott's Stealth Surge Alerts, I'm going to include that, so make sure you check that out. There's tons of stuff about who he is, what he does. He has had an amazing track record. He's probably had the most impressive track record in terms of who he's been dealing with, like people like Kevin Hassett, a former senior advisor to President Donald Trump. He's definitely the most prestigious guy on this list. However, I'm also going to include the link to Nate Bear's Profit Surge Trader, and this is something that I've been updating as we go, and there's a full track record as best as I can do all the way through this review article right here. So again, check the description below. You'll get these links so you can go through these in your own time rather than just going on what I'm saying right now. So you can go through these articles and check them out. All right, so back to this. So The one ticker payouts are fantastic. You have to stick with them though, so you can't take drawdowns as like a problem. You have to see them as just part of your trading. And this is where most traders fail, in my opinion, is that they tend to say like, hey, there'll be long winning streaks and then, you know, like a losing streak. And if you get stopped out on a losing streak, you're not positioning properly. And I saw that. So in quarter one for Nate Bear, he had 27 trades in a row that were winners. But in quarter two, he had a bad quarter two, which was a drawdown. Then everybody that I know, at least in my communities, and again, I run Discord communities on this stuff. So if you're interested in that, email me. I'll put my email in the description below. So you can join. As long as you've got a subscription to one of these services, I'll add you to the appropriate channel inside my Discord. You just have to email me with proof that you're a part of one of these services that I'm talking about, so you can be part of that. So the drawdowns are just part of trading. So I know a few people that love Profit Surge Trader and have made significant money from it. They're you know, on board. And then there's a lot of people who are just like, oh, I couldn't handle the drawdown. I don't like the trades. I'm going to quit. Therefore, I'm going to give it a negative review. Within the first quarter, Nate Bear had a 96%, you know, positive rating on the Facebook group that I run, which is really fantastic. I mean, that's unheard of. So basically, he does these trades, which are based on the TTM squeeze, and he has an AI software called Sam, which basically helps him find these trades, and he's more of an educator than maybe Roger Scott is. He tends to educate you a little bit more on what he's doing, so people are becoming more independent traders based on his alerts, which is kind of the goal, right? You want to be able to fish for yourself rather than just relying on alerts. That's the big difference between Nate Bear and Roger Scott, for example, is the trades are kind of similar in terms of percentage win rate, hold time, and profitability. You know, is like maybe Nate Bear has a little bit more education in there and enables you to like learn for yourself how to do these trades. But an 80% win rate is fantastic. Hold time is less than 5 days, which is really good as well, because you don't want huge exposure to this market. It's so choppy. So that's like basically my summary here. There is a 365-day money-back guarantee, and it's only $179 a year, which is significantly cheaper than Roger Scott's service. Roger Scott is a very high-level service. I would say if you're looking for a budget service, Nate Bear's Profit Surge Trader is the way to go. Like I said, $179 a year with a 365-day money-back guarantee, which is insane. I mean, that's like if you just paper trade for the first few months, you're like, I don't really like this. I can't handle the drawdowns, or I don't like the fact that maybe there's not as many winning trades as I'd hope. You can get your money back completely on this, and it's only $179 a year. So this is really good if you're on a budget. I would recommend Roger Scott's trading if you have a little bit more money to spend. It's a little bit more, I would say, like there's less drawdowns on it, so that can help people that are a little bit nervous about drawdowns and get freaked out about strategies that maybe they don't fully understand. So that's kind of comparing those two. These are all profitable, by the way, and I'm a member of all of them. In fact, the next one I want to talk about is slightly different from these two. It's called Theta traderz. So I work on Theta traderz in collaboration with my friend Lance, and these are sell-side trades. So these are a little bit different from the last two. The last two have been basically directional calls and occasional puts. This is actually a spread trading service or a selling put service, where you can win whether the stock goes up, down, or sideways. Now, Theta traderz is a little different, and Lance is very hands-on in terms of helping people. So he'll do one-on-one Zoom calls with people. He'll help them more than some of these like big names like, you know, Nate Bear or Roger Scott. And he will help them with, you know, things like 0 DTE trade alerts on SPX. These are high probability day trades, so if you're interested in that, Theta traderz might be for you. There is some simple, easy to follow put credit spreads that are posted daily. There's also a lot of future stuff as well, and some of these future trades have been really profitable. So for example, there's been covered strangles that are plus 74% in 2024, which is amazing. There's been broken wing butterfly trades, so these are like slightly more advanced than the previous two services. Whereas like they're more multi-leg type of trades. That's been plus 24% in 5 months, which is pretty incredible. There's a variety of membership programs and payment plans available, which is not the case with the other two services that I've talked about. These can range from $100 a month to $2,000 if you want to do the full lifetime type of deal. So there's excellent support and education with Theta traders. If you want to really get a rounded out, high probability trade service, this is for you. So if you like the sell side of options where you're selling stuff for premium, this is the service for you. So the previous two were directional based. This one is non-directional based, or very minimal directional based, where you're basically taking trades that you can go, you can go in and you can go down a little bit on or sideways on. It doesn't just have to go up, to win. This is one of my favorite services, which is why I partnered with Lance from Theta Traders. And you can go through all of these. And the website here is thetatraderz.com, which is right here. And so I looked through this a little bit just to make sure things are up to date. So there's simple, easy to follow put credit spread alerts, which are posted daily. If you want to do ES or MES, there's also stuff on that as well. Like I said, there's one-on-one coaching to help you reach your goals. Sometimes if you sign up for like the lifetime subscription, which is this one right here, you get absolutely everything. So I like to call this inner circle rather than lifetime. It is lifetime in that it's one-time payment. You get access forever. But basically, we do payment plans on this. So you can do 4 payment plans. Sometimes we even go like more than that. So you can do 4 payments of $4.99 for lifetime for everything. Or you can go even better than that. You can go smaller amounts. We just ask that you actually honor the payment plan. It's very rare for people to default on it, but it's something that we really, try to help people with, so they're not paying $2,000 out of pocket. But look at all the stuff you get for this. You get put credit spread alerts, you get 0 DTE SPX alerts, you get 3-month SPY alerts, monthly group Zoom calls, all the strategy guides. There's like 20 of these things or more. They're ridiculous. Lance really goes above and beyond to go through these things. You get one-on-one coaching, so you can email or message on Discord. So this is the only Discord one, by the way. The other two are not Discord based. This one is Discord based. Future strangles, like I said, 74% in like 2024. Actually, it's the covered strangles right here. The future strangles are a little different. You can go through all these different systems. So if you're a sell-side trader, you really want to check this out because it's really good. Lance is an expert on this stuff. He does a really good job. And I totally stand behind him. I take these trades all the time. I've been overall profitable with this system and these strategies. And I really think it's something that if you don't have much time, you can really, really benefit from. There's different tiers of subscription here. Safeguard trades, which are 112s. I'm not a huge fan of these anymore. I'd say like they were really good for a while. But as soon as you get a VIX spike, I'd say like these things are not the best. I would go for something like the consistent passive profits. These have never had a losing trade, not a single one. And also the quarterly trades as well, which include these things right here. And I'll make sure I put the link in the description below for you guys to check this out. This is a fantastic service if you're looking for consistent passive profits. These are something that you really want to check out. I hope that's helpful. I think these are 3 trading systems that I really believe in. Roger Scott's from Wealth Press, Stealth Alerts. These are really good. I also think that Nate Bear stuff is really good. You have to stick with it. And I think he's a multi-millionaire trader, and it's something that somebody you really want to be involved with. And also Lance from Theta Traders, a very profitable trader. I think these things are really good. I think you should definitely check these out in the description below, and I'll talk to you guys soon.